Barber here at the Barbershop CT for Aref. And today I'm going to walk you through one of Aref's haircuts and all the best tips and tricks that he's taught me behind the chair. Let's get started.
All right, so today we're going to be working on our guest Anthony. We're going to give him a nice clean beard trim and a low bald fade with a comb over curly top. So the first thing Aref's going to do is knock out all of his trimmer work. Always keep your guests comfortable and always keep them clean. Don't be afraid to use your tools in a different way. Aref just turned his trimmers upside down, so it's a little bit easier for him to see what he's doing before he actually cuts. So right now we're working on the Adam's apple. We're definitely working in an area that's very sensitive. You have to have very light pressure and be very gentle, especially when you're using a tool that comes zero gapped right out the box. Aref putting his finger on Anthony's neck to create a little bit of tension to help that tool glide across the skin a little bit better. He's keeping his guest clean again by blowing off all that residue. A little bit of a fade brush to help. And now we're going to go in with the foil shaver and really create a nice smooth finish. Again, don't be afraid to use your tools in a different manner. Aref's using the taller side of the foil shaver to get into that hard to reach area. So we're going to move on with a little bit more trimmer work. We're going to go in and really carve out that hard line that Aref's going to use to work off of to create his low bald fade. Also, don't be afraid to gently direct your guest where to move. A little tap on their face and then they'll understand that you're directing them to move somewhere else and they'll go exactly with you. We're going to foil shave down at the bottom, clean that up with a nice smooth finish before we move on to our clipper work. Aref will be fading up for this haircut, which means he's going to start with his shortest lengths first. He's going to go in with no guard on the clipper and have it completely open. He's going to make a hard line that he's going to go in later and gradually close the clipper using even the corner of it to carve out those lines of demarcation. So Aref's going to go in with a little bit of clipper over comb work here. Notice he's not holding his clipper horizontally. That's going to make way too hard of a line that he doesn't want. He wants to gently blend, just keeping the clipper vertical. So now you can see a little bit better. He's going in with the clipper completely open, leaving that line of demarcation down at the bottom. Always keep your work as clean and organized as possible. Anthony has a part, so Aref wants to make sure that that part stays exactly where it is. So now that Aref has established his line with the clipper completely open, he's going to go in with it closed and gradually blend that out. Something that's super important is to take a minute every so often and turn the chair. Check your work in the mirror. So Aref's going to continue to erase that line with no guard on the clipper before he moves on to his 1.5 guard. He's going to do a little bit of edge work before he goes and really refines the fade. So in order to go in and blend zone 2, Aref's going to go in with his blending shears. He doesn't want to make too hard of a line with Anthony's texture of hair, so this is the perfect tool to create that. Using a tapered comb will save your life. Super helpful little move. Move your guest's ear, get the comb in there so you can really get into that hard to reach area. Aref's going to use a little bit of grooming spray for a cutting lotion. Comb that through evenly. So we're going to go in and cut the top. We're going to start from the apex back and create a bit of a graduation. So now he's going to connect the bottom to the top. Comb that through, see where everything is falling. Keep your work clean. Really keep your sections clean. Push away the hair that you're not taking. We're going to connect the sides to the top now. So Aref's actually using a different shear than he normally uses. These shears have a little bit of a skinnier tip and they allow you to get in there with curly hair that likes to fold over on your fingers. So Anthony likes to have a little bit of length to play with in the front. So Aref is going to over direct everything in the front back to what he just cut to match that. So again, we're just matching the top to the sides now, creating a little bit of a graduation here just to refine that front piece. So now we're going to start our razor work with our favorite blade slip. Angles are super important in razor work. Don't be afraid to literally get behind your guest. Use tension wherever you need to. Like I said, tension is very important. Notice Aref's thumb at the top of Anthony's head, trying to create a lot of tension to ease the glide on that tool. Little bit of skin tonic for after the shave. So now we're going to go in and style using a 413 brush, get a nice polish and shine on that hair. You'll notice that Aref's about to take his brush and flip it like that. This is going to create a lot of tension that's going to help in blowing out those curls that Anthony has. So now we're going to go in with a bit of grooming cream, really finish off the look, hydrate the hair, give it a little bit of hold. Whenever you're using product, make sure you evenly disperse it into your hands so it evenly disperses into the hair. Once you have the product in the hair, don't be afraid to play around with it a little bit. Check it out in the mirror, make it look how you really want it to look. So now we're going to go in with a little bit of Super Clean Extra. So when Aref uses this wide tooth comb, that texture that he loves really, really pops. And here's the finished product. Thanks for watching today, you guys. Come check us out at the Barbershop CT.